Friends, let us sit together for a moment and reflect on a truly marvelous piece of technology. And no, I am not speaking of the smartphones in our pockets or the flat screen televisions in our homes. We often think of technology as something that began with the Industrial Revolution or perhaps the digital age, and we marvel at the progress of our species. But if we look deeper into the architecture of our own perception, we realize that the most sophisticated television set ever created has been here as long as we have. I'm speaking of the box that spans our mind and our senses. It is a biological and neurological apparatus so vast that most of us cannot even conceive of an outside to it. We don't just watch this television, we live inside it. Think about the world you perceive right now. You see colors, you hear sounds, you feel the texture of the seat beneath you. In essence, this is a three-dimensional, sensory-rich broadcast that we call reality. As we navigate our daily lives, we are constantly processing a stream of data, colors, forms, sounds, and ideas that creates the convincing illusion of a world existing out there, separate from ourselves. But Advaita Vedanta tells us something startling. This perception is actually a creative act of the mind. Just as a television processes an invisible signal into a vivid picture, our mind takes raw sensory data and projects the image of a world. We have become so used to the broadcast that we have forgotten the device that makes it possible. We call it a dream, not because it isn't there, but because its nature is not what it appears to be. It is a high-definition projection. When a dream is this vivid, this consistent, we stop questioning it, we take it as the ultimate truth. But as we shall see, the resolution of this world is exactly what keeps us trapped within its plot. When we watch a television show, we usually maintain a certain distance. We are the observers. We can enjoy the drama, be horrified by the tragedies, or be bored by the filler. But something happens when the resolution is this high. Because the world screen is so immersive, we lose our status as observers. We get sucked into the plot. We stop being the audience and decide we want to be the stars. We become participants in a cosmic soap opera that spans not just hours but entire lifetimes. In this state of total absorption, we forget a fundamental truth. We are only watching. We become so entangled in what we call Nama and Rupa, the names and forms of the world, that we mistake the broadcast for the absolute reality. We forget how to turn the television off. In fact, most of us have forgotten where the power switch even is. We are so busy acting out our roles that we never stop to ask what the images are actually projected upon. The ancient sages said it most beautifully. We have been seeing only the screen all along, but it was covered by the unceasing dance of color, form, and ideas. Imagine that. Every moment of your life, every joy, every heartbreak has been a dance upon a surface that remains completely unchanged. We were so fascinated by the dance that we missed the floor. We were so captivated by the movie that we missed the screen. Now let us use a bit of logic. If you take a magnifying glass and move it closer and closer to a modern television screen, the beautiful images, the faces of loved ones, the vibrant landscapes, they begin to disappear. They dissolve into tiny dots of red, green, and blue light. These pixels on their own convey no meaning. They have no color in the way we usually think of it. They are just fragments of information. The same is true of the physical world. When we look too closely at the stuff of our lives, whether through the lens of quantum physics or the deep focus of meditation, the solid world of objects vanishes. We find ourselves staring at an ocean of atoms, subatomic particles, and eventually just ripples of energy in a field of infinite possibilities. These pixels of the universe convey no logical meaning on their own. The meaning is something we project onto the screen. Eventually, the seeker grows tired of the soap opera. We realize that no matter how much we fix the plot of the movie will eventually end. So we begin to look for the switch. This is the spiritual journey. It begins with disenchantment, the realization that the broadcast cannot provide lasting peace. Then comes the search for the underlying truth. Through the practice of quieting the senses and the mind, the images begin to flicker. They lose their solidity. In that state of total unified stillness, the television of the world is switched off, and the unchanging reality behind the images is finally revealed. What remains when the movie stops? The screen. This screen is what we call Sakshi, the witness or pure awareness. It is the only thing that doesn't change. Whether the movie playing is a tragedy or a comedy, the screen is unaffected. Think about this. The screen doesn't get wet when there is a storm on the show. It doesn't get burned when there is a fire in the scene. Similarly, your inner awareness, your true self, is never wet by the tears of life, nor burned by its trials. It is the underlying field that supports every image in the universe without ever being modified by them. There is a profound misunderstanding in many spiritual circles. People think they need to bring the divine into the world, as if the world were a dark place that needs us to turn on a light. But the ancient wisdom tells us something different. It tells us that we must uncover the divine. You don't need to put the screen onto the television. The screen is already there. You simply need to realize that the images are just a temporary covering. We were seeing the infinite all the time. We just called it a tree, a person, or a problem. When we stop being distracted by the names and forms, the underlying reality stands revealed. We don't create the truth, we simply stop ignoring it. Let us look at this comparison clearly. On one side, we have the illusion, the broadcast. It is constantly changing, defined by labels, and often very stressful because we think we are in it. On the other side, we have reality, the screen. It is permanently still, beyond all definitions, and purely peaceful. While the broadcast is divided into me and the world, the screen is unified and undivided awareness. In the broadcast, meaning is temporary and projected. In the reality of the screen, existence itself is inherent and eternal. The question is, which one will you identify with today? The changing image or the unchanging support? Now, the goal of this realization is not to stop living or to stop watching the show. We don't throw the television away. Instead, we change our relationship with the broadcast. When you know you are the screen, you can enjoy the drama of your life without being shattered by it. You can be the star of your own story while simultaneously knowing that you are the silent witness to it all. By recognizing that the names and forms are just a veil over the infinite, we begin to live with a sense of unimaginable freedom. We are no longer afraid of the movie ending because we know that the screen is eternal. We stop trying to fix the pixels and start resting in the awareness that holds them all. This is the ultimate uncovering, the discovery that the light we were seeking out there was actually the screen upon which our entire life has been projected. I leave you with this thought: you are not the person in the movie struggling to find the light. You are the light itself, allowing the movie to be seen. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions you may have.